Let's actually... Oh, shoot. See if it changes if I do that. Bummer. Live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first live episode of the Black Sand Journals. We appreciate you making the time. Hopefully, some of you can join in and ask questions, provide comments, let us know how we're doing. I'm joined today by Kenyon, and here on the Black Sand Journals, everything is free game. We talk about faith, family, fun, and everything in between. So, we'll start with some reaction videos.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, it works for me.
Let's do this one with Do All Men Have These Things?
Kingston told me to close the blinds. They are closed, Kingston.
Yeah, they are closed. Yeah, a little bright. Sorry for the glare.
All right, you want to explain the first video
Um,
before we pull it up?
yeah, this one came across my feed, and it's funny, we hear this all the time, but all of us, just like anything else, have very different reactions to music, images, etc. So when we tee this up, I want Kenyon to listen to it and then tell us what his first reaction is to this. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. In my native language.
That's it?
First reaction.
Right now?
Yeah.
What language was that? That's my first reaction.
Spanish. Didn't you serve in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Okay, so go back to the very beginning first of all,
Okay.
and play it again real quick, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay. Hold on, let me throw it back on there.
Yeah, there you go. Stop right there. See in this top left corner right here? This guy?
This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you, isn't it?
No. What the? That's so messed up.
When I started watching this video, I'm
That
like,
is not me.
hold up, is that Kenyan? I thought he served in Ukraine. Anyway, sorry, your first thoughts on that?
My first thoughts. Well, first of all, I couldn't figure out what language it was. That was like,
Spanish?
it was Spanish.
If it's not, chat, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's Spanish.
I couldn't figure out what language that was, but no, I mean, it was a beautiful song. I don't know. Everything that's going through my mind is what's the setting, like who are they singing to?
Yeah.
Other than obviously, most choirs I hear, especially in our church and in a church setting, I think our church does really well with choirs and whatnot and hymns. So
Yeah.
that's what was going through my mind.
What did he say?
He just said that's
He
crazy.
says-
You don't know Spanish since it's the official language of Utah at this point. Yeah, I'm sorry, I could not tell that was
Yeah.
Spanish.
Let me tell you my first reaction to that when I saw it, or anytime I hear this song, it just transports me back to my own mission days.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were singing it in Psalm 1 in English, but it just reminded me of all of those happy days, those amazing times when you're surrounded by people who are trying to live a certain lifestyle. I guess we should all be living a certain lifestyle all the time, but you're just always wrapped up in the gospel of Jesus Christ. And every time I hear that song, I know sometimes we get sick of it because as missionaries, because we're all constantly singing it.
Yeah.
But it just reminds me of, and it even brings back visually images of people that I served with, missionaries who I served alongside. And that's just, I don't know how you feel about that, but it always transports me back to that special time in my life when I served my mission, teaching the gospel of Jesus Christ in Samoa, alongside people that I, to this day, love and appreciate, for good and bad. Your thoughts?
No, I agree. I mean, that obviously was a song that does keep you pressing forward and changing your mindset while you're out there on the mission. So yeah, it did take me. Now after you saying that, yeah, I can think back to a lot of instances where I'm either hearing that song or someone singing that song or singing it in church. So
Cool.
nostalgic for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
nostalgic.
Anything happened this week that you wanted to talk about? Any thoughts come to mind? I know I might have mentioned this in the last one, but man, I was super sick and I thought I was going to die. And it only happens, maybe Mom will say more than once a year, but for me, in my recollection, it happens once a year, usually around this time, always around the holidays. I get super sick, and then for a moment, it takes a couple of days before I'm back on my feet. But it's just a reminder to me, first of all, if you're out there listening, go get your wellness checks done on a regular basis. If you haven't done it in a while, you're probably walking around with something that you don't know about. Number two, I'm so grateful to the people who check in on me, love on me, remember me when they're in their prayers. So that's another thing that was a gentle reminder to me this past week. But also when you're sick, yeah, we did talk about this.
Yeah.
How
it's humbling.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
And you just like in any traumatic situation, I know it's not really that traumatic, but for me, it just reminds me of what matters most.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It is tough being sick. Luckily, I already went through a little bit of it, and hopefully that's the
Yeah.
end for the winter. But
I hope so.
wife and baby have been sick for a few days now, just
Dang
with the
it.
little cold. So it's humbling. I mean, to sit there and kind of like take a step back, get off the work computer, go down, get Rachel some little like ginger tea to help her throat or chest
Right.
or whatever she needs, and then spend some time with Delilah so Rachel can rest. And it's like it's a hard balance, but it's good.
Yeah.
Hard balance.
What about this past week, since we're talking about that first video with missionaries, the church announced, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, announced that the age for young women to submit their missionary applications is now 18 years of age. They haven't changed the fact that it's not required. I don't know if required is the right word. Maybe it is required of young women in the same way that it's required of young men. But now they don't have to wait until their 19th birthday, wait a whole year, go to college, get married to someone different than the person that you're in love with. So
What age did you serve a mission at?
I actually served 18.
18?
I submitted my papers and thought I'll just serve a local mission. So I served a local mission in Samoa. I did a lot of things a little too early in my life. I probably should have waited so that I was a little more mature.
So you think you weren't
mentally.
ready?
I wasn't. 100% was not ready. So what do you think?
Do you feel like I wouldn't say it's an issue, but do you feel like there is cause for an issue that maybe we are sending out missionaries a little too early?
I don't know. When I
It's a
think
hard
about
topic.
it is a hard topic because if I think about your generation and people like Jackson who just went out on his mission, for those of us who are older, obviously we're going to think, man, this guy's so immature. And I'm not saying that about Jackson. I'm definitely not saying that about Jackson. But I'm actually using Jackson as an example. I think from a mental, maybe even a spiritual, I think Jackson was a little more mature
Yeah.
than I was. I definitely was not that mature when I was his age.
Right there with you.
Yeah.
I was not ready at age of 18 to head out there. I get it from our leader's perspective, where our main objective as young adult, one of our main objectives right now is to multiply and replenish the earth.
Right.
It's hard to do that when you're coming home from a mission trying to find a wife at 30 years old, right?
Right.
It's a lot
Which
easier
is what
when
King
you're
is saying. He should have been called when he was 30.
It's a lot easier when you're still kind of in your prime age, whatever you want to call it, at
Yeah.
21, 22. So I get that. But 18 for me personally, I think might be a little too soon.
Yeah.
I think this is a different topic 10 years ago, 15
Right.
years ago when Kingston did go out, because in my opinion, 18-year-olds in the early 2000s and 90s were a
Yeah.
lot more mature than 18-year-olds now.
Absolutely.
I mistake some 18-year-olds now for 12-year-olds because of the way they act in
Yeah.
stores. So I think generations plays a big role in it. But I was very shocked to hear that
Yeah.
girls are now going at 18 because,
Especially how, I mean, they just seem so young.
yeah, they're so young
Well,
and more like naive, and if they go to kind of a scarier place, like,
Yeah.
where crime rates are higher or whatnot, I mean, they might not do too well. That's just my personal
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
I
No,
can't can't go against what the churches and what our leaders are prompted to do, but
it's a valid opinion. I think it's one that many people right now share. I just think back just a couple of months ago when Mom and I and Quinn were in Samoa, and we would pass by on the road, wherever we were going, these young sister missionaries. You could tell they were straight from Arizona or Idaho or somewhere, talking to people on the road, and I thought, man, I hope they're safe.
yeah.
And Samoa, of course, they're going to be respectful and loving and kind, but you just never know. So, yeah. And maybe, what do you think about this? Maybe the brethren and God, since they're speaking on behalf of Heavenly Father and the Savior, maybe it just goes back to that thought of, I can't recall who gave the talk, of raising the bar. Maybe this is an invitation and a challenge to young people in the church today to really study the scriptures, be involved in your wards, and learn the gospel of Jesus Christ right now. Don't wait until it's 6 months away from graduation before you say, all right, I'm going to go serve and
Right.
I got to prepare.
Right.
Maybe it's just raising the bar.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. My personal opinion, if someone were to ask me right now, what age do you think missionaries should be, like the minimum age requirement?
Yeah,
For me, I'd probably say 21.
Yeah.
I think get out of high school, do a couple years on your own in college, be independent, and
Yeah.
I understand that kind of pushes everything 2 years later in
Right.
life.
Right.
But as Kingston just said, I mean, our church is emphasizing, like, strengthening the mission to marriage pipeline.
Exactly. And maybe this is another thought that you don't have to go when you're 18.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah,
No one's
you're
saying you have to.
yeah,
That's just the
you're
minimum
encouraged to
requirement.
go,
Yeah.
and it would help if you get that portion of your life. Um, Submit that to God and let Him bless you for serving. But for some of us, I know personally, I would have said like, yeah, maybe I'm too young. I better wait until I'm 21 or older. So yeah, there's a lot to think about, isn't
Yeah, Kingston said missions are the new mutual dating app.
there?
I have elders and sisters from my mission that are married now, and
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
It's true.
Maybe
You
that's a
got valid
possibility
point there.
too.
Yeah, they're meeting other
Yeah.
sister missionaries out there or whatnot.
Or at
Even
least
though that's not what you're out there for, but
right, or at least learn early while you're out there how to get along with different
True.
types of personalities. I
True.
mean, that's probably, for me, it was like 85% of my mission was learning to get out of my shell, learn how to get along with people and just be respectful. And I don't know, there's a lot to unpack with that thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's
Next
so
one.
weird.
This one might take a little bit longer. We'll have to stop and start for copyright
Yeah, I'll have
issues.
to
But
keep an eye on this.
yeah,
You want to explain what this is?
Dana Loesch. I think I'm saying her. Dana Loesch.
Yeah, I've never heard of her.
She's popular on conservative platforms, I think, or channels. But she is actually speaking to some of the males in her production team, and these are things that you don't apparently. These are responses from young women, and she references. I think she even shows the TikTok personality that has some of the things that surprised her about walking into a young man's apartment.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
This chick on social media,
Let me speed that up a little.
and
Yeah, let's do it.
I thought this was interesting. There was a lot of
People talk too
responses
slow.
to it. She wrote a list: green
Like
flags
me.
in a man's apartment. So this means that
So green
this is a
flags.
good. If you're at a man's apartment and you're considering him for a relationship, these things you should look at as a green flag. And she listed 11 things. Quote: expensive candles, nice hand soap, actual toilet paper, not a single ply situation, no clothes on the floor, no dishes in the sink, uses wash,
Wash.
Wash.
owns a hairbrush, plants that are alive, wine glasses that aren't stolen from a bar, clean sheets that smell like detergent, and more than 2 things in the fridge, and nothing expired. And
Yeah.
one of the comments was,
So, any of those things, when you think back to your college days, you know, you're with your roommates and
Not a single thing.
none of them? No candles?
Maybe clean sheets.
Clean dishes?
Actually, hold on. I did have some candles. Let me tell you a story. Oh,
Okay,
this
go
was so
for
bad.
it.
This was so bad. Let me bring this up. I brought over. I told one of my roommates, listen, like I'm gonna have a girl over. It's the last minute. She's coming over. We're gonna go on a date, and then she's coming over to the house, and we're just gonna chill for a little bit. And I was expecting them, to like also have their friends over and girls over, so it's just
Yeah.
gonna be like a big old hangout. And I told my 2 roommates at the time, just did not clean up at all. I cleaned up after them all the time. It was pretty frustrating. Anyways, I was like, I called him. I said, she's gonna come over, so can you please make sure the house is clean? And he starts laughing at me. He goes, yeah, I'll clean up my stuff. I'll clean up my stuff. Me knowing he's gonna go throw everything
Yeah.
that's on the floor inside the bathroom because she won't use it, and there's another one, so he's gonna go throw everything because that's just
Or the laundry room.
how we cleaned up at the time.
Yeah.
And oh, it was the most embarrassing thing ever. This was my first date with this girl, and we're walking down the steps because we're in a basement apartment of the house. And I open up the door, and I open it, and it is the lights are turned down low. There's maybe like 30 candles lit, and there's rose petals to the couch.
I was not expecting
Oh, there were rose petals to the couch.
that. So it was more like a,
It was clean. It was great.
Yeah.
But he was playing a prank on me, and I texted him, and I just said, you said some choice words in that text. And he just starts sending me all these laughing emojis, just dying. I
classic.
think those are, I was like, dude, where did all these candles come from? First of all, I didn't know we had candles. And the girl is just like, her face turns red. I was like, I promise I did not set this up. This was not me. This was my roommate being dumb. I just ran around blowing out all the candles, turning the lights on. I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I guess to answer, we did. See, Quinn knows. Quinn already knows.
Good old T-pose.
We had. I found out then that we had some candles in the house. So yes on that one. Oh man.
No, I don't know if chat, let us know if this sounds familiar to you, but I just envision, and it's funny if we keep going on this video, she actually says it's girls who don't clean up their place and they don't have clean dishes and things like that. And this is coming from a female saying this stuff. So she's like, this list is actually good, but it's women that should be more concerned.
Interesting.
We should be more concerned about. I don't know. I've been to some pretty shocking bachelor pads in my life.
Oh yeah.
And I think, man, first of all, do you guys actually clean your clothes or do you just go buy more clothes? Because it's disgusting. I'm surprised. The first thing I was expecting you to say is the smell in the place was horrific.
Oh yeah. It usually was. Usually was.
So I don't know. We can listen to a little bit more, but it's shocking some of the things that were on that list that girls consider green flags.
Yeah. All right. You ready to keep going?
Yeah.
All right. Let's throw this back up there.
Apparently, your type is my gay uncle.
That's what I was thinking.
When I first met my husband, he had nothing
There's the
in
list
his
right
apartment.
there.
It was
Nice hand
like his
soap,
grandmother's.
toilet paper. Oh, this is everything she said.
Yep.
Inherited furniture that looked like it was never used. He had like and dish and
Inherited
bowl and cup.
furniture.
And then the thing that really stuck out to me though, he didn't have a scented candle because he's not gay. Sorry if you guys do. Kane has one, but I gave it to him as a housewarming
You have a
gift
candle
because
every-
it was comically huge.
That's the only reason I have
That's-
So
yes.
one on the list.
Yes, it's because a woman gave it to you, so that's okay. But he had, it's just like the soft soap that's like at a grocery store, right? It's literally called that, right? Just soft soap. It's clear soap and has a pump. So I guess one time they did a partnership with that PBS cartoon Arthur, the anteater, and they put it on the soft soap, like the image of Arthur the anteater on the soft soap. And so the first time I was at his apartment and we were going to a movie and I used his restroom and I went in and I saw the soap on the sink and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life because here was this single dude that had, the Arthur soap on the sink
would
and I
also
just was
crack me
dying
up.
laughing. I'm like, what man in his 20s, like nothing. It was just hysterical. So I'm curious, what you guys have. Do you have any of these things? Now, Kane, let me start with you because, number one, you have a
That's typical bachelor life, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You just like accumulate
whatever
things from
it
other
is there.
people. Like, oh yeah, I could use that.
Totally.
can- a
Yeah,
scented
and you know
candle.
what? It's funny because
Handed it
number
to
2 I have because of you. You gave me the gift of that Buff City soap.
Yeah,
Remember?
that's really good
So
soap.
I have.
I
That.
got to keep the gents we got to keep them topped
Yeah,
up with
no,
the
you're
nice
really good
stuff
about
here
that.
on the show, right?
I've always had 2-ply, never single ply.
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't know men. Men, I feel like, are bougier on that kind of stuff than ladies.
Yeah,
even.
nobody
Hands
wants
down.
Yeah,
the
oh,
thin.
Okay. Yeah, nobody wants that.
Use the stuff I used to paper houses with back in the day.
Right.
I do sometimes have clothes on the floor. Face wash, I don't necessarily have a focused face wash.
Yeah. And it can't be the 3-in-1 bonus if it's not 3-in-1.
I do own a hairbrush, but I also own a comb, and it's mainly for my beard. It's not for my head.
True, Quinn. But that's also true.
Quinn said it ain't stupid if it works.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's true. If it works for you, great. But is that going to work when your potential wife walks in? And it's like, wow, this is what our apartment is going to look like once we get married. But hey, that's a good point to talk about. It takes 2 people to keep a house clean. You recognize that even more with the little one.
Yeah.
You both have to put some work into
They're
making sure
constantly
that,
cleaning.
yeah. So and she's right. As far as the hygiene products and stuff like that, I think men have gotten better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In my generation and years past, you'd be like, I'm serious, this guy didn't shower for like 7 days.
No, I think it is our generation. I don't even know. There probably is a term for it, but we are
Yeah.
kind of like,
You guys pluck your eyebrows and stuff.
yeah, Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
like, look at my
I
eyebrows.
hate to say it, but our generation is a little bit more like pretty boys.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Well, hold on. Quinn said, in the end, she'll be more glad that we even have soap. Rather, exactly. Rather than not washing our hands, no matter what it is.
Oh, speaking of, you ever been? I'm sorry to
No, you're good.
jump
You're
into your thought, but you ever gone to a public restroom and you're standing next to a dude, he's doing his thing, you're doing your thing. You walk over to the sink to wash your hands, and the dude just walks
darts
out.
out. Yeah, probably
Like,
every single day I see that.
I
At
wish
work.
I wish there was some kind of app or something where the phone just goes off and it's like, oh yeah, this dude didn't wash his hands. It's disgusting.
almost like the app they have for like, what does it call it? Like sexual offenders in your area.
Oh yeah,
Dudes that didn't wash their hands. Unclean men in your area.
Serial hygiene criminals. It's just
From-
disgusting. Yeah.
Right.
Wash your hands.
I don't have any plants that are alive that I can think of.
Right.
I do have wine glasses that aren't stolen from a
Nice.
bar,
There you
which
go.
is nice, and I do have clean sheets.
There you go. So that means you're like, yeah, those are
and
good.
there's probably
That so
a
when
good
I
thing.
when I lived with somebody's on my own for the first time, it was in the basement of one of his parents' houses, a really nice house. So we were actually very lucky with the furniture and with everything in there.
Yeah.
His mom actually, one of the guys' moms actually works for a really high-end magazine doing like decorating homes and stuff.
yeah.
So we had a bunch of just like really nice stuff. So that one for me, that was the only time I lived on my own. So that one for me, I can't relate to. We had a lot of nice
Yeah.
wine glasses that no one ever even drank wine or
And how about the plants?
no.
Do
Yeah,
people?
no plants.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know.
I think we had fake ones.
I can keep a plant. That's one thing that I pride myself in. I can
That's
keep
not
a
real, is
plant. Well, you know,
it?
not that
plant
one.
looks really good.
Not that one in particular. But if I had a live plant in here, I would actually keep it. You ask mom.
You should. There's a
Yeah,
window right there. You
sun
can put it right with
there.
your candle.
Yep. Killing me right now.
New
Cool.
challenge. New challenge.
New
for
challenge?
Black Sand Journal.
probably things in my fridge that are expired.
Yeah, I think everybody has that, especially if there's more than one person living with you. Everybody has that.
Yeah.
Steve, do you own any kind of scented, expensive candles?
I did run through this list. I only have expensive candles because my mom works at Kirkland's. We've talked about this.
This is my favorite story that you guys don't know on the show. Like Steve's mom is an OG, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we can finish it off here. But
No, that's good.
for those of you
I
listening
like that
in,
list.
Jen, Kenyon's mom, we call her the general for many reasons, and this is one of the big reasons. She's one of the people. I'm sure if she could, she would walk into all of our boys' homes and do an inspection and say, okay, you got to do this, this, and this. I'm not throwing you under the bus, babe.
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
saying, hey, that's just kind of a mom's perspective. Is, hey, if you're gonna send your boys out into the world, make sure you send them out
Yeah.
equipped to clean the house, wash the dishes, do, domestic duties to help your wife out.
Yeah, and I personally think you and mom did a fantastic job. We had chores where that required us to clean not just our rooms. You guys always made sure that we knew that was our responsibility.
Yep.
Our room needed to be clean, but we had to do our own laundry, even though we were pretty lazy. I think you were a lot harder on the older boys. Mom kind of just did a lot of mine and Quinn's, but you were very good about having us do all the simple things. I mean, one of our chores was to clean the kitchen, plan the meals with mom. That totally translates to when you go live on your own. You got to buy your own food, do your own meals and whatnot, and then cook them yourself.
Exactly.
We had to clean, like sweep, mop, take the trash out, everything. So I think you guys prepared us really well, even though we hated doing it
Yeah.
at that time. But even like washing the windows and everything, that's something that I don't think a lot of kids nowadays are even considering doing at their own
No.
house.
Yeah, and there's just and this is part of my personality as well. Maybe it's just something that was hammered into me. I'm just passing along the torture that I had to endure
To us.
yeah, as a kid. But there's a lot to be said about a clean home. What is it? What have they taught us in the church? That cleanliness
next to God.
is next to
Yeah,
godliness, and would forget about potential girlfriends, etc., friends that come over. If you have a clean home, then you're not gonna. I'm sure God doesn't care. I mean, he came for the sinners.
Yeah.
But man, for me personally, if God showed up at my house and it was just a pigsty, I'd be a little embarrassed to have him in my home. So
Your wife just said, "Don't look in my closet, then."
yeah. Come on, General.
No, and
Clean it up.
I now I can say that Rachel, I mean, she does get mad at me because unfortunately when we first got married, I was super good about being clean to both of us. But now it's like I have Rachel and she's so good at cleaning that I'm like, she'll
Yeah.
clean it. Which is so horrible of me as a husband.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will buckle down and do the dishes, clean the kitchen and whatnot. But she has told me that she's very grateful for the way I was raised in our culture, that like I have to be clean. I have to do things around the house to help
Yeah.
out. And she comes from the same kind of background. So very, very strict and very clean culture. Japanese people are so clean and clean cut. Everything has a
Yeah.
place. So I think it translated well from what you guys. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm grateful for what you guys did, and yeah, it translated well.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at my childhood, my youth. My mom and dad they were sticklers for cleanliness. But allow your kids to do things around the house, do some chores, teach them some cooking skills, and they're gonna be grateful to you when they're out on their own, because or even when they get married, because those are habits that should always be part of you, and you're pass it on to your kids.
Do kids do chores now?
That's a loaded question. Mostly because the answer is no. At least that's how I envisioned it. I don't know. I mean, it was a funny concept too when I was growing up in West Jordan. Um, most of my friends, my Palangi friends, they had an allowance
Yeah.
for doing
No.
different
That's
things
what mom
around the
just said,
house.
only for money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy.
So my friends would come back and they'd say, "Oh yeah, I had to take the trash out a few times and I got $20 out of it." I'm like, "You did what?" If I don't take the trash out, I'm gonna get
I'm
beat.
just gonna get beat up.
You know? I mean, that was just part of living in a household, was
Yeah.
just pitching in. So
Well, one of the craziest things for me was when we moved to Lehigh, I started slowly making friends. And then one of my friends' houses I go to, I was so shocked because we're sitting there playing video games. And he goes, "Hey, we got to leave for a couple hours." I was like, "We just got here." He goes, "Well, the cleaners are almost here." I was like,
mm,
"Wait, what? You have
lucky you.
cleaners?
Lucky
People come
you.
and clean your house? What does that mean?" Like, I was like, "You're talking about your mom, right?" You're
Yeah.
like, "Your mom and sister?" Nah. So that was like very eye opening. And now talking to a lot of friends, they all have cleaners. And don't get me wrong, if I had a lot of money,
Yeah.
I'd pay for cleaners to clean my house once a week.
If
Deep clean.
it, like Quinn said, if it works for you,
Yeah.
more power.
If I
to
had a
you.
big house, I think if I had a big house, I would need to have cleaners. It's
Yeah.
just too much to have your wife do. But I'm just saying, like, that when I was at a young age and moving from West Valley and being in a household where we clean, we do everything, it was interesting
Yeah.
to see, hey, they have cleaners come over once or twice a week to clean the house.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is. I mean, to answer your question, I honestly don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time in other people's homes.
Obviously, every family's different, right?
Yeah,
I
every
was making
family
a
is
joke. I was
different.
making a joke.
But yeah, whether it's a joke or not, man, help your kids. No, don't make them.
Mhm.
Help your kids understand the value of doing simple tasks around the home. If anything, it helps you out as a parent, to have some of those things work on your behalf to get your household in order. Anyway, last thoughts on that?
I think that's it. I think we covered it all.
Okay.
How's it going?
All right, we're going to shift over to one that has been repeated over and over and over again, primarily because I would call them the flagship product, sports product of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's anything that comes out of BYU sports. We tend to hear this quite a bit. Go ahead, Kenyon.
Yeah. Play it. Sorry, Jack. I get this all set up right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
was planning for today's show, and I planned to talk about the CSC, the College Sports Commission, and what it could mean for BYU's future if they sign on with the agreement they have sent out to the schools. Well, that got superseded by a link that was sent to me by at least a handful of you Cougar fans out there. And reading this, my heart broke. I said, you know what? We're getting rid of essentially our game plan, and we're talking about this today. So Brandy Hicken wrote a story, and she put it on, I think, on Facebook originally, but it's been reposted all over the place, about her and her husband, Jared Hicken's experience at the Cincinnati game on Saturday night. Now, Jared and Brandy Hicken live in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Well, if that sounds familiar, that is the place that was shot up by a guy who crashed into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints church building in Grand Blanc, Michigan, shot members of the congregation as they were trying to flee, set fire to the building, and ultimately was killed in a police shootout. Absolutely horrific scenes. It happened literally a day after the F the Mormons chant happened at Colorado. Well, Jared and Brandy Hicken were caught in the crossfire in that incident. Their daughter was shot in the back. Jared Hicken was shot in the leg. Brandy was holding her two younger children, a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old. Since it's close to home as a dad. So apologies for the waterworks, but she was fleeing with her kids in her arms, and she got hit with shrapnel. That is horrific. Yeah. Horrific stuff that nobody should have to experience.
Sorry, just make sure.
So her and her husband, they've recovered. Their kids apparently are doing okay. So they had plans to go to this game all along. So they said, you know what? For normalcy's sake, let's go down to Cincinnati. They made the 4.5-hour drive from Grand Blanc, Michigan to Cincinnati, Ohio, to watch this game. And they're BYU alumni, and they were at this game, and Brandy wrote in this letter that she sent to the athletic director of Cincinnati, and Cincinnati issued a statement that it feels like it was just a boilerplate carbon copy of literally every other apology, I use air quotes, apology that's been issued when fans have behaved this way against BYU and against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She writes in this story, the anxiety and fear that we have felt since that day has been debilitating. We have put in a lot of work in that short 8 weeks so we can try and feel some sort of safety and normalcy again and enjoy the things we used to do, including football games. She says that I was apprehensive when I walked down to my seat and saw the nearest exit was pretty far from me. I continued to my seat anyways. We came, we smiled, we cheered, we enjoyed ourselves, ... until University of Cincinnati fans began to chant F the Mormons. As she notes, this is not a new chant. This is not a chant that is specific to your university. This is a chant I've heard before while enjoying a football game, whether in person or on TV. It's always disheartening to hear. However, now that we Mormons have been quite literally targeted, attacked, chased, shot at, and some of us have been simply killed for being, quote, Mormon, this chant is no longer just disheartening. It's crippling, it's personal, it's unacceptable, period. She says, please, Mr. Cunningham, do not tolerate them. Remove.
Initial thoughts?
I
mean, he's right. It's disheartening. It's disappointing that this continues to come up. And whether it's F the Mormons, F the Muslims, whatever the case may be, it's just sad and wrong.
Yeah,
and we have to deal with it on a regular basis. It's becoming more prevalent because BYU sports teams are really upping the game.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of high-profile recruits coming to the basketball team, even on the basketball field. Court. The soccer fields, anywhere they go, if they finish in a pretty reasonable area, you know, first or second, or win a game, this is going to happen more and more, and it's sad that we have to deal with this on a regular basis. But I guess it's just our turn.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think it'll go away anytime soon. I understand, especially from this family situation. I mean, it's just really sad.
That made it even worse.
Really sad. I mean, if I'm in that crowd, like, yeah, it hurts a little bit, but also I'm able to just laugh at it because of where I'm at and what my stance is. And so I genuinely hope a lot of members of the church are able to kind of just disregard it. Don't necessarily have to laugh about it, but just hopefully brush it under. But I am glad that people are bringing it to light, because it is something that kind of sucks. It sucks to be pointed out like that. So,
and this year alone, it's happened at almost every away game that BYU has participated in. Now, I understand. Yeah.
If we lost that game,
would have never heard it.
Yeah, I don't think
Might
so.
still heard it just because they
by a
think it's
few
funny.
people. Yeah.
But yeah, this is just something that's going to continue to happen over and over again because that's just where we are in the world today. And I think it's because we're also easy targets.
Yeah.
That we're not, I hope, not going to respond with violence or with the same type of rhetoric. But I think because we're taught, we're conditioned, we believe that the Savior has taught us that we turn the other cheek in those situations.
Right.
That's what the Savior wants us to do.
Right.
And because of that, yeah, we just fall victim to these types of verbal attacks and abuse. I mean,
It's unfortunate, but
yeah.
I mean that's really all it is it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
For families like this, it's obviously means a whole lot more.
exactly.
And I'm not saying that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Mom said opposition against true disciples.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'm not like saying that it doesn't affect me at all, or offend me at all. I just think like you just said, there's sometimes where we do have to turn the other cheek because this, I'm sorry, will continue to happen.
Yeah,
And as long as BYU's doing well in any sport, which is what we want for them to do well, it's going to keep happening. It may even get worse, unfortunately.
yeah.
But
And
just
Jen's
gotta be
right.
strong.
Jen's right. Your mom's right. These are things that have been foretold. These are the end times, and there is an opposition in all things. So for us as members of the church, this is in itself is kind of a sifting as well, where you can either say, all right, maybe this isn't what I want to do anymore and walk away, or it can embolden us to be outright, this is my religion and this is what I believe in. This is to me something that is very important and sacred to me, and I don't like it when you treat me in this way.
Right.
I just hope people will understand that it's just not funny.
Yeah.
It
isn't.
it's not.
Sorry, keep going. I gotta change this back.
Remove them, speaking of the fans who were in this involved in this, remove them from the game. Don't let them come back. Educate them on the seriousness of their actions. Set that standard and expectation moving forward and enforce it. We are hurting badly. We just want to enjoy the things that make us happy again without the fear of being targeted and attacked for our religious beliefs, unquote. It's a long letter. I've quoted just small parts of it. I don't know the Hicken family. I don't have any direct connection to them. But I used the term grace under pressure. Remember, if you were everydayers, remember back to that Colorado game, I talked about the incident I observed at Folsom Field with that BYU fan that easily could have devolved into fisticuffs, and had another BYU fan been in that circumstance, very well could have devolved into that. But they had the grace under pressure, the term I used, to essentially bottle it up and move along. We can't move along from this. No, it can't. It's unacceptable. I've had people in my mentions literally since Saturday night when I released my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think he's right. Shortly after the Colorado game, Coach Sanders addressed it, and Colorado was actually fined. It wasn't an outrageous fine, but I think that just they need to start, whether it's us or other cultures, whatever the case may be, other religions. We just need to leave the sacred things alone, and it surprises me in today's climate and atmosphere socially that it's okay to do that, but it's not okay to it's okay to let someone some guy with a beard and a dress go into a women's locker room, but it's you have a different standard for people when it's their religion, especially our religion,
Right.
and saying whatever you feel like you want to say with no repercussions. So I think, personally, regardless of what the situation is, if you are targeting a certain group, there should be fines imposed. That's just my personal opinion. Yep.
That chant being uttered
Right,
once
keep
again
going.
by a Big 12 fan base
Just
who have
has a couple more. I think that was pretty
Covers
much
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
King just left something in the chat there.
Yeah, let's see what he said. The church donated a record amount of food to their student fund pantry.
That's correct, and
To
they mentioned
Cincinnati?
it in this video before the game kicked off. The local Saints did a huge food drive and donated to the local food pantry, and that that was the thanks they got for doing all of the service. So hey, it is what it is, and like I said, we turn the other cheek. Doesn't mean that we turn a blind eye. We address the situation and just let people know that it's unacceptable to treat people that way.
Right.
Okay.
100%.
Right. Chat, let us know what you think about that one. Love to hear your thoughts.
All right. This is the one, right? The next one?
Yeah. Let's try this.
Anything you want to preface before starting?
No.
No? We're straight in?
Yep.
Love it.
President Hinckley, for those of you who are watching.
To his father, Dad, I was dreaming about you last night. You were? Yes. What were you dreaming? I was dreaming that I was climbing a ladder to heaven, and on each rung of the ladder as I went up, I had to write one of my sins. His father said, yes. Where do I come into your dream? The boy said, as I was going up, I met you coming down for more chalk.
Love it.
I like that.
Love President Hinckley. This one came across my feed as well, and I thought I'd share it with you because in church this past Sunday, in speaking to the young men, shout out to my boy Vaughn Greening. I shouldn't call him my boy. He's my good friend and second counselor in our ward. But he taught a lot about stewardship, and one of the things that I have stewardship over is my family. As a patriarch in my home, I know there's a negative connotation with the word patriarch or patriarchal.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I shared with the young men, as far as stewardship is concerned, is that one of the worst sayings, and we said it all the time, one of the worst things that we all often quoted was, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the worst sayings ever because it allows me as a parent an out option, saying, I get to do whatever I want because I've experienced my life and I know better than you, but these are the things that I don't want you to do. There's a bit of unrighteous dominion there because that person, that child, that youth still needs to use their agency to choose for themselves. But it also means that as far as an out clause on that I can continue doing whatever I want, but for you, it's like that saying, rules for thee, but not for me. And so I kind of explained to the young men, since we were talking about stewardship, that one of the things that they need to consider is that we as fathers aren't perfect, and that we're using the information that we receive or the examples that we saw from our own fathers and grandfathers to raise our families, hopefully up in a righteous way. So as young men, they need to understand where their fathers are coming from, give them a little bit of grace. And again, we're going back to that word bold. Be bold and courageous enough to say to your father in those moments when you feel like it's inappropriate, the things that they're saying, have a good conversation about it. Just pull them aside and say, Dad, I completely understand where you're coming from, but this is my perspective. I love you. Can we work out a way where it works for both of us? So give each other some grace in those situations, and just understand that, I mean, what kinds of things did I do as a father? You don't have to answer this. Chat, you can answer this. What kind of things did I do as a father where you're like, yeah, I don't know if that was good. I mean, we rolled with it, but because we didn't want to get beat up.
Yeah.
But it just was something that we had to do in our family. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
Stewardship and stuff. Now that you have your own daughter.
Yeah, I think that's a question a lot of people can ask themselves, especially any men listening really can ask yourself, what what things have you learned, both positive and negative, from your father and
Yeah.
and from your mother as well, and women asking the same questions about their moms and their fathers as well. It can't do anything but benefit you.
Yeah.
Yes, there were hard times when we were kids with our parents. Yes, we got disciplined. Yes, there you can go on and on a list of positives and negatives. Um, but all it does is help you learn, right?
Yeah.
And watching and I guess thinking back to how I was raised by you and mom, there's a lot of positives and negatives.
Yeah,
And I've
definitely.
learned from a whole lot of them. And I'm starting to see now that we have our own daughter, Rachel and I'm starting to see things that kind of naturally come out of me as
Yeah.
a father that I may have seen in you or I may have seen in mom. And my wife Rachel has said the same things. There's things that she's like, whoa, like
Yeah.
that's like how my mom, that's like what my mom used to say to me or whatnot. So, and
Yeah.
it's not that they're bad things. Yes, there's things that maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't do, where Delilah throws a toy, she's 10 months old, like, hey, and I'm like, wait, I actually can't. Like, she doesn't know any different.
Right.
She's 10 months old.
You're like,
Um,
I'm gonna have to break your arm for that. Sorry.
no,
No,
there's
I would
good and
never
bad
do
things,
that
but
to little baby Delilah. She's the best.
there's good and bad things, but yeah,
Yeah.
those are my thoughts.
No, I think it's absolutely right, and it kind of leads into another thought, where do you think that there's this thing from my generation, I think mostly, where we say, I want my kids to have everything I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any issues with that thought?
Yeah, if you never had drugs, it might be a little. No, I was kidding. Yeah, it's a good point, Mom. She said generational stuff too. It can affect how the dads respond.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's true, and that applies to this as well.
And cultural. And
Yeah,
cultural
and
as well.
cultural. Yeah, you got a good point there. I don't know. That's a hard question to answer, that phrase. It's to see if, like, do you see any issues with that phrase?
Yeah. Because you want your kids to have everything you
Oh yeah,
have.
100%.
You want them to be happy.
100%.
But is it possible that in doing that, you're spoiling your kid and insulating them from the things, the difficulties that they could learn from?
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, think about me. And since we're getting close to the Christmas season, let me share this story with you. I think I might have shared this with you guys before. Two stories, actually, really briefly. One of my most memorable experiences was Christmas in Samoa. Every Christmas that we had in Samoa. Why? Because we didn't really have any gifts. Our gifts to each other was expressing our love through the actions that we made, or
Right.
through serving each other. It was the funniest thing. Like, we would do a gift exchange, but it was just things that were around the house. Like, I remember getting a roll of toilet paper or a hanger, just weird, odd things around the house that just made us laugh. But in recognizing those things, it's not about the gift, it's about the love that we share for one another that matters most.
Right.
And I think in today's day and age, our consumer age, where it's more about, I bought you this, and then the kid opens it up and they're like, this isn't what I wanted,
Yeah.
So it becomes more about what things do you get instead of what things can you give. And you give of your heart, your time, your talents, just as the law of consecration teaches us, that if we can do those things, then we're closer to our Heavenly Father and the Savior, because that's what they want us to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, a big one for me growing up was, I don't know the exact year. Mom, maybe you do, or Dad, but the year where Mom was and you and Mom were like, well, we're not getting a Christmas tree this year.
We can't.
And
I think
that
it was the first year we moved to Lehigh.
Yeah, and that Christmas that Christmas has always been one of my most memorable Christmases, and I learned a whole lot as a kid there, during that time, and so that plays a lot into this. I mean, like, I don't think kids now will ever. Sorry, there's a lot of people in our lives right now who won't experience, a lot of kids in our lives close to us that won't experience a Christmas like that, because it's all about, what do I get? What do I get? What do I get?
Right.
And parents are going to the ends of the earth to get it for them. Whereas, you know, you it's okay to let your kids struggle a little bit, and you struggle a little bit. I know that's not what you want to give to your kids, but think about what it can do for them in the future. And
Exactly.
things that happened when I was younger, it affected me now. Where maybe Christmas isn't all about gifts. Christmas is just an example.
Yeah.
There's so many things in life that I didn't have that maybe my kids also don't need to have because of what I learned from it. Maybe they can learn from it.
Right.
Not saying I don't want to give everything my kids, everything I can
Yeah.
for my kids, because
That's not what we're advocating for. Don't starve your kids or
Yeah.
anything like that. We're just saying that there
no Christmas presents this year. We can't have anything.
We're getting rid of the car.
Yeah, we're walking everywhere.
We're turning off the hot water.
No more Wi-Fi.
Exactly. But, you know, if anything, you know, that's one of the reasons why I think I've shared this before, why I love going back to Samoa, because for me, it's actually a reset.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to me of where I came from, first of all, but also of the things that I should be grateful for.
Right.
And you brought up, that was the second story I was going to bring up, was that, and I think so many people who walked into our home that year at Christmas time were like, "Where's your freaking tree?"
It's right there.
Yeah. What horrible people. You don't have a Christmas tree for your kids. But we couldn't afford it. And we knew that year we were just going to be as tight with the money, because I had just gone through job loss.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom was working, and she was kind of helping us stay afloat until I finally got a job after being laid off. And I thought, man, and for me as a father, trust me, I felt absolutely horrible that we couldn't give you the things that we wanted to give you. But then it goes back to, it's all about me. I was being selfish.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, what lessons can we learn from this hardship that will help us be better as a family in the future?
Yeah, and I am now. I was one of the youngest people in that story. It was me and Quinn. We were the little kids.
Yeah.
But now I can tell you, however many years later it is, that I learned so much from that, and that by far has been one of the most memorable and one of my most favorite Christmases we ever had as a family.
Absolutely.
It meant a lot, and it has weighed really heavy on my adulthood, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So.
Mom said, memories, not gifts. And that's absolutely right. That if you can look back on this moment 10 years from now, at this Christmas or any part of your life, I've done this a lot. I do a lot of self-reflection, and I need to, in order to make sure that I'm doing what is right for me, my family, and the people that I'm around, so that I'm not. You remember me back in the day? I was the meanest, miserable person ever. And it was because I was focused on the wrong things. But you ever had those experiences where you're at a wedding and the creepy uncle walks by with his camera, and he's like, "What advice can you give
Uncle Shot
to the newlyweds?" And like, first of all, get rid of you as an uncle. I'm just kidding. But in the past, I would like, oh yeah, what advice can I give? Now, anytime anybody asks, and you can clip this and send it to everybody who's getting married in the coming months, it's all about making sure that your relationship with Jesus is solid, and then helping your partner or significant other to realize their relationship, if they haven't already, and the two of you will become stronger if you are both rooted in the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Isn't that something that I've said to you before?
Oh yeah.
Probably say it too much.
A million times. Yeah, I don't think you can say it too much. Manuel said, "I just got here, but I think it's a blessing in disguise to have strict parents."
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely is in disguise.
Definitely. You don't realize it when
You
you're
freaking
10 or
hate it in
11
the
years
moment.
old. Yeah. You walk in the room like, I hate this family so much. But then, after you punch a few holes in the wall, Micah, you realize that my life wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And my people did that because they love me.
And look at where I'm at now.
Yeah. I mean, you probably lost a few
Still
teeth
poor.
and everything like that. But right. Yeah. So I guess the whole reason I bring that up is my suggestion to you is stop spoiling your kids. Give them the things that matter most in the world. Your testimony of the gospel of Jesus Christ, your love, and your love doesn't have to have a price tag. That's all I'm saying. But if that works for you, more power.
More power to you.
Okay. Well, I was going to also ask, what is it that you want to give Delilah that I didn't give you?
Money? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It was never going to happen.
No, that is a hard question to answer because
Yeah.
you want to give your whole world to. And we keep going back
Yeah.
to this. We're going in circles,
Right.
and I'm sorry, but
No,
you want to give your kids everything. You want to give them the best.
Yeah.
But it is okay if they don't get it all. It is okay. You'll learn a lot. I mean, right now, all I can think of is I am hopefully gonna have my family be a country club family. Is that too spoiled? Maybe, but I want them to grow up with a pool and a golf course and tennis court, whatever it is. So,
but if that's what brings you happiness, make it happen.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, we'll see
make it
if I
happen.
can get there.
Yeah. What do you think about that, chat? Give us your thoughts.
Micah got to learn so much every day. He said a whole lot.
Whole lot.
Got to learn how a left hook felt.
Yeah.
No, I was kidding.
All right. Final thought. It's holiday season, and I've been seeing a lot of these things come through on my feed as well, where people who disagree with a member of their family just cut them off completely. Not going to visit grandma because she did this to me. Not going to talk to
Yeah.
grandpa anymore because he said this to me. Or I'm not going to talk to a sister, a brother, a cousin, whoever it is. Some of these people have friends like me for 30 years, and all of a sudden they stop talking to them because there was some disagreement. We're not perfect, people. I think there was one more video that kind of relates to that. Let's tee this up real quick. Listen to Elder Uchtdorf for a moment.
Every family has moments of awkwardness, like when your parents ask you to take a selfie of them. Or when your great aunt insists that you are still single because you're just too picky. Or when your opinionated brother-in-law thinks that his political view is the gospel view. Or when your dad arranges a family portrait with everyone dressed like characters in his favorite movie and you get the Chewbacca costume. Families are like that. We may share the same gene pool, but we are not the same. We have unique spirits. We're influenced in different ways by our experiences, and each of us ends up different as a result. Rather than attempting to force everyone into a mold of our own making, we can choose to celebrate these differences and appreciate them for adding richness and constant surprises
And when you make mistakes,
Life is what he was gonna say.
every family.
Yeah. For those of you listening, that's Kingston's favorite apostle. Shout out to Kingston and Elder Uchtdorf. But Elder Uchtdorf, spot on. That's one of the things that's dividing us as a country, as a people, even within the church, is political views. And sometimes we tend to take those things as gospel rather than really deciding for ourselves and letting other people decide for themselves the course of action that they'd like to take. But it doesn't mean that we cut off any of our relationships with these people just because they're different from us. I mean, how different are you from your brothers?
Yeah, Micah, you can answer that. We're extremely different.
Yes.
Yeah, all different in our own ways. But
Yeah.
like that video is titled, and what he gets into is nobody's perfect. Our families aren't perfect, but
Yeah.
we have to be able to understand that and go into every conversation with a good attitude, even though you know your brother might say something that might offend you. But am I going to cut you off forever? No, I'm not going to cut you off forever. That's ridiculous. But you're right. I'm seeing a lot of people who are nowadays who are, my sister just said this about this politician, and I don't want to talk to her anymore. I don't want to see her anymore. And then
Or
they go
about
on
this
weeks
person.
without talking to her,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Months
seriously,
and
over
years.
that?
Yeah.
Over that? I don't
But
want to come to your kids this. I don't want to do that. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe try growing up a little bit and be an adult.
Well, and maybe that's what it is. Sometimes it takes a little bit of growth, some experience, some understanding of humility, and setting aside the pride. Pride, scriptures tell us this.
Correct.
Pride is what destroys people, communities, whole civilizations because of pride. And we just got to set that aside, even if it's just for a moment, to say, hey, I love you. I don't disagree. I don't agree with some of the things you do, but it doesn't mean that my love for you changes. I'm always going to love you.
Right.
And within my own family, I have disagreements with my siblings and some of the things they say and do. They have the same issues with me, but I can count on those people loving me despite all of our differences, because from the same household, from the same blood, we know and believe in the same things for the most part, and it's just not going to change for us.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you? What Thanksgiving preparations, what are you guys planning on?
Obviously, yeah. Just to wrap it up, I think we'll be with family for sure. That's our focus around every holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Both families. We always make an emphasis to visit both families, especially on Thanksgiving and Christmas, to just really kind of understand what and recognize what we're grateful for today, and family will always be top of the list. Always grateful for everyone. So that's our biggest preparation, is making sure we set aside time to see all of our family. Other than that, play some football in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kingston said Elder Razband's his favorite.
I'd love to hear more about that. What about you guys?
Thanksgiving, definitely with family. It gets more and more sad for us, me and Mom, because we have to split our time with you guys, and Kingston and his family, as well as Chase and his family. Micah's not going to be with us, so we're pretty sad about that. But he has promised that he'll spend. He has promised that he'll spend the Christmas season with us, so that's something to look forward to. But we're just going to eat a lot, play games, and enjoy our time with loved ones. And I guess I don't know if you have an invitation. My invitation to those of you listening in is to think about the things that we've talked about here, especially as we're going into this holiday season. It doesn't take a holiday to do these things. If you have some differences, a grudge, if you will, with someone, the invitation is to set aside those differences and love that person. See all of the things that you love about that person first, and set aside the things that you don't love necessarily about them. And my hope is that it will change the way that you view that person and the rest of the world. Because I think sometimes, I know in my situation, we tend to abuse the people we love the most, in some way, shape, or fashion. But let's flip the equation and love them more than the random person that you meet on the street, or the person that you just struck up a conversation with. Yes, you definitely need to love them as God's children, but concentrate some of your efforts on the people that love you this holiday season. What are you thinking, Kenyon, Kingston, Micah?
Happens too often.
I'm doing that already, man. Alzheimer's is kicking in.
No, I 100% agree. I think just invite everyone to take the time to really look back and look at your current situation, and figure out what you're grateful for, look at where you're at in life and understand how you got there and how you can proceed, and look at the positives and negatives, and hopefully just proceed with the positives. Learn from those negatives, but
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, and what Mom said here: love God,
everyone.
love everyone. That's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
is. Thanks.
thank
everyone.
you everyone for joining us on our first live, our first official one that's not going to get banned. We look forward to doing this more and more in the coming weeks, months, years, I hope, if I'm still around. If you want to join me on one of these live sessions, please let me know. I'd love to have you here. Input, we can do a remote session as well. Let me know. I'd love to hear your perspective on faith, family, and fun, and everything in between. Love you all. Take care.
Peace out.
Late.
Anders.